So hi, my name's Alex. Last name's Van Hulle. I originate in Belgium. I work with Redlight Finance. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Redlight Finance. And we're an innovative technology company that's come out with a truly gasless blockchain, to which I'll get into in a minute. Oh, there's no sound. Oh, that's unfortunate. There you go. Beautiful. So, what is the trilemma? Currently, the trilemma is a factor of three issues: security, decentralization, and scalability. And each blockchain has its own solutions to either one, two, or try to get all three of these problems solved. Typically speaking, blockchains have a problem with one of these because of a number of things, gas being one of them. Scalability is very difficult for a blockchain to accomplish because of the fact that users have to pay a transaction fee. Security is also another thing because of the human error, right? Technology these days, it's very hard to actually break them. Encryption is through the roof on its security, but the human error is at one point or another the issue that has for security. And then of course decentralization. We want to make sure that everything is decentralized in our ecosystem, and we try to solve this trilemma through our gasless solution. And we mean gasless because it's not 0.0001, and I'll get to that later, but Redlight Chain is a layer 1 EVM compatible blockchain, and it introduces a revolutionary change to traditional blockchains. Ethereum, right? Ever try to mint an NFT, cost you like 150 bucks in gas during peak times. On Binance, you're still paying $3, $4. Avalanche, $1 or $2. Even Solana, you keep paying in the pennies. You can't introduce that into a business because businesses don't want to pay per transaction. And we want to make sure that we solve that. So what's the difference? Well, for blockchains, we have a couple of different consensus methods. You have proof of work, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, where you're trading computing power and you're getting paid for that to confirm information. You have proof of stake, which is a validation, communicating with each other to confirm information through a consensus protocol and then getting paid together. Redlight Chain is proof of authority, where instead of staking a monetary value, validators are staked based on their identity. Utilizing this method allows us to eliminate gas completely and pay validators through another method, which is a pool of rewards. Now, we want to make sure that through decentralization in a blockchain, we take control of that power and we utilize the blockchain technology and security to implement it into businesses. So instead of using proof of stake methods and having to pay validation, we want to use proof of authority. Now, the number one issue for blockchains like Solana that have low gas fees is the fact that you have high congestion and you also have extremely high downtimes. Solana feels like every other day, and this is not a bit at Solana because they're a fantastic blockchain, but it seems like they're always offline because of network attacks. How do you take something that's free and you stop it from network attacks? Well, we use the Pocket system. Now on the top here, on the right-hand side, we have RLC, Redlight Chain, normally. Now, our validators are validating information that's confirming on the blockchain. When we have a high congestion rate, we go to what's called the Pocket system. Pocket system utilizes a two-way validator and separates congestion and network attacks through a queue system that takes it away from normal network usage. So average everyday users do not see or feel any problems whatsoever with the blockchain, and all the information from the network attacks are being confirmed by outside validators that are dedicated to these pockets. There could be a limited amount of pockets, there can be no pockets. It all depends on what's going on in our advanced queue system. Now, that solves a significant problem in scalability, because now we can sit there and we can go to healthcare industries. We can go to any business that has any traditional database system, and we can apply this system in our blockchain, and instead of them paying per transactions to receive information or send information, now they're doing it for free on the most secure way possible. And we want to make sure that we continue to grow that. So right now, currently in our booth, you'll see we have our testnet live and ready to go. And you can see our 2-second block speed, which is ridiculously fast. Our 2-second block speed allows us to integrate that into all types of industries. If a casino wanted to run slot machines on our blockchain, no problem. If you wanted to host healthcare records through NFTs on our blockchain, no problem. If you wanted to have NFTs that were sports tickets, no problem. That were dynamic and changeable unlimited amount of times, no problem. Why? Because you're not paying for every single time you want to change it, interact with it, or use it. And because there's a queue system that's so advanced that allows us to mitigate all of the network congestion from all these people using the free nature of the blockchain, you won't notice a difference. And our validators come out in batches, right? They're not all at once. We want to scale with the technology. If only 100 people are using it, you don't need 3,000 validators, right? If 100 people are using it, you need maybe 10 validators. So as our blockchain becomes more and more potent and more people start using it, we release batches of validators to keep up with what our network demand is. And that is what is important with the Pocket system. So the future of crypto, let's be honest, it's gasless. There is no way that we can continue to have high gas fees and expect a retail investor and businesses to get involved into crypto. It's a huge barrier to entry. You cannot expand. Go down the street to the 7-Eleven and talk to the guy about crypto and say, hey, yeah, you can do all this amazing things with this technology, but every time you want to use it, you have to pay a fee. That just doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense to me. If I want to play to earn games, if you want to interact with the metaverse, if you want to mint an NFT, if you want to just have fun, it's hard because you have to pay to play, and we don't want that. And that's where the gasless comes in. And you can see here on the diagram on the left, this is the proof of authority. You have secure networks because it's an EVM compatible blockchain, just like Ethereum, just like Avalanche, just like Phantom, Binance. All of those are EVM compatible, meaning anybody who understands Solidity can develop a smart contract and deploy it on our network. Difference is, ours is free. And utilizing the Pocket system, it allows us that freedom. And unlike other proclaimed gasless blockchains, there are some out there, yes, they either have a governance coin, right, which is the blockchain coin, that they have to stake, and they get a token in which you use that token in order to pay gas fees. Sure, that's technically free, but it's not zero. And then there's other blockchains that claim to be very low on gas fees, but at the end of the day, it's still 0.000001. And that's not acceptable. Maybe for the user individually, it's acceptable because you end up paying less than a penny. But for a big business like banks who do millions and millions of transactions, that's not something that's very plausible, because any amount of money for a transaction ends up being something on their bank records, something on their, at the end of the day, it's taking away from their profits. And we don't want that. So having a truly gasless blockchain means zero. And that means every single transaction is zero. Zero gas, zero problems, and it's absolutely amazing. On our booth, you can actually check out our testnet, have fun with it, play around with it, interact with it. If you want to deploy a smart contract right now, I'll show you how. You can interact, mint an NFT if you'd like. If you want to sell your NFT on our NFT marketplace, have fun. It's all live on our testnet, and I would love to show you at our booth. But the main importance is, you can't get rid of GUI. So GUI is the calculation of gas for a blockchain. You can't get rid of it, that's just the technology. But how do you get around it? Through burning. So we have a burn plan. Our initial supply of our blockchain is 210 million coins. We want to mitigate the market trends of Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently right now goes down 10%, everything else follows 12-15%. Bitcoin goes up 10%, everything else follows up. We want to get out of that market trend. How do we do that? Through our burn plan that takes away from 210 million all the way down to 21 million total supply, which mimics Bitcoin's total supply. The way we pay our validators is very unique. It's from a pool, just like Bitcoin does. Bitcoin pays per block. We pay per day. Now, every 4 years, just like Bitcoin, it halvens. But the difference is, if you notice through history, Bitcoin, after a halvening, typically goes back up in price. A bull market starts to rise. 2 years after that, you have what we have now, a fall. We're launching by the end of August our mainnet. If our halvening is 2 years after Bitcoin's halvening, we could, technically speaking, mitigate that and step away from the market trends of what BTC is. And that's what's important. So our blockchain is technically gasless. We do have an option for gas. This is going back to what I was saying with Gwei. You can't get rid of that. So what if I really wanted that Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT mint that's on the RLC chain? What if I really wanted that? I don't want to miss out. There's 10,000 people trying to get this NFT and I really want it. Well, I could increase my gas and have a better option, a better opportunity. I can skip the line in the queue system. I'll have a different pocket which I get placed in for congestion because I paid gas. But where does that gas go? It gets burnt completely. A great example of this is Avalanche. Avalanche does a very good job at burning their supply through charging gas. And we're not going to charge gas, but if you want to pay it, that's completely up to you. And what happens when the supply reaches 21 million? Well, users will still have the optional gas usage. However, it will no longer be burnt. Instead of it, it will be awarded to users who own and operate the validators as a bonus incentive. Pretty cool. Now, technical specifications. So during testing, we have a less than 2-second block speed, which is ridiculously fast. It was actually more like 1.59 seconds when you really calculated it, but during testing, less than 2 seconds. We have zero gas. We have the option to spend gas, and we have the starting supply of 210 million and total supply of 21 million. The reason why this table is here, though, is for this last point at the bottom. The max transaction size is 2 megabytes. You might be thinking 2 megabytes, that's less than a Word document. Yes, but that's the minimum. Scalability, right? We actually tested it and it broke our blockchain at 200 megabytes, which is 100 times larger than Binance's max transaction size. Why is this important? And you might be thinking, well, NFTs are bigger than that. This is transactions. So this is me communicating with the blockchain and it communicating back with me. If you want to release more transactions, it's no problem. It just takes more transactions to do what you want to do. Starting at 2 megabytes, which is the same as Binance Smart Chain, we're able to grow indefinitely until 200 megabytes, in which our blockchain would end up crashing. Now, growing with scalability allows us to interact with other types of industries. If the Department of Defense in the United States wanted to incorporate the blockchain into defensive mechanisms and just database interaction, they can. Do they need 10 megabytes transaction size? No problem. We can accommodate to that. And that's what's extremely important about our blockchain, is the scalability. By solving scalability naturally, it allows us to focus on security and decentralization. In doing so, being very secure is the human error, and we want to make sure we get rid of that as well. But if you want more information on our fully gasless blockchain, definitely check out our booth. I would love to show you everything. If you want to mint a free NFT, come on down. I'll show you how you can do so on our NFT marketplace, and we can have a blast in the testnet, and you can get ready for the mainnet that's launching by the end of August. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.